I could not stand not being myself any longer. I could not hold in what was me any longer. And it was just like one of those things where like the dam was just getting weaker and weaker. And like, so I'm like, okay, um, I'm gonna, I just started doing things that where I'm like little by little, I'm like, where can I finally show who I am? Where can I try to be like who I really am? Try to find different, like what I believed to be socially acceptable ways to be myself. So I, it was not socially acceptable in my day and age to like anime, manga, and that's what I liked. Let's just say I was bullied and like called very racist names for liking anime and manga. And my friends, they liked it. So I thought, okay, we like to going to the library to read the manga books there. So we talked to one of the librarians, and we somehow got a anime club going at at that library. Somehow that became a thing, and then ever since then, the anime club was a thing we went to. I loved art, and I loved doing things creatively. So I joined the art club. I liked video games, so I joined the game club, and I just gravitated toward the things I just authentically liked. And I think even though I was still awkward in these places, I just doing that alone was like helpful to overcome later fears and greater fears that were to come. Um, going to college, being in a place where no one knows you or not a lot of people know you, and trying to reinvent yourself because you like this is the time, if any time to do it. It's like when you're away from people that you don't know, and you get to be whoever you want to be. You don't have to worry about the past reputation that you once held. You can just start over, and that's the best way to do it. So little by little, it just started being like, I was like, oh, I'm not known as the girl that talks to people. Well, maybe in this new environment, I can be the girl that is known to talk to people and say hi or be more charismatic and be more strong willed and like, you know, more outgoing. I wanted to do things that terrified me, you know, maybe overcoming fear is like it's like the threshold of wanting to break out of the fear needs to be so strong that you can't stand another moment in like living your life the way you are at that moment. You have to be like, okay, I'm willing to risk whatever the consequences is if I fail because it's better than this situation I'm in now. That's how I see overcoming fear. You think about you think about where you're at this moment and you're like, okay, I'm in fear mode. And what are you afraid of? Well, let's just say XYZ consequences or XYZ outcomes. And you're like, okay, is those outcomes better than where I'm at right now? And if the where you are right now is more insufferable than those outcomes, then you're ready to take the next step forward and overcome the fear. If you know that there's nothing to lose, nothing more you can lose that is any worse than where you're at right now, then you got nothing, no reason not to do it. You got no reason not to. So that's how I felt. It's like, well, I've been living this like life of like, oh shit, I can't. There's nothing else. Like this shit, I can't live this way anymore. I'm like, what is the outcome of living this way forever? Okay, I, I like hide myself forever and don't talk to people and I don't ever make connections. Well, that outcome is worse than anything I can imagine happening. Trying to like be different or do something different. That is so much imaginably worse. So I might as well do the thing. And like that you what you were saying before, where like, you felt like you're like you feel like you're escaping death. Like that in of itself is like an adrenaline rush. You're like, I didn't really do anything that dangerous, but it felt like it. And you know what? I lived to tell the tale. Wow, what a rush! It became kind of like a cool like like serotonin bump or some shit. I don't know what to call it, but yeah, imagine like when I went to college, I decided I wanted to do anything and everything that felt like something I just wanted to go for, and I did it. I went to community college for creative writing, And I was like, creative writing's my passion, always has been. And it became a thing my entire life where I used poetry to help me get through things, help me express things I couldn't express or didn't know how to express because I was such a like a quiet loner girl that like, you know, in a lot of ways like kind of emo, but not really because I was never suicidal or anything, but um
Hey, hey, can you hear me?
I definitely had
Yeah.
that like angsty teenage thing
Excellent. What's
going
going
for
on?
me. And even though
I
it
had
was
no
not
idea. Like this
aesthetically
woke up
pleasing on me as it is
oh my
these other
god.
girls, you know, trust me.
It was like
Um,
it seemed to help.
yeah,
Is that right?
but
What's your name?
for real,
I'm Simon Jarrett.
it
How are you?
was
Oh,
very
shucks.
much
Well, anyways,
trying to
where are
like,
you now?
yeah, use this
Someplace
like thing
filled
I
with
love doing,
electrical power.
creating
Not
like
some
I
phantom
escaped in
transformer.
like fantasy. I
Yeah,
escaped
you're probably in a
into
thermal plant
things that
somewhere. You want to go
like were
upstairs to
stories
the
being
comm
told.
center.
I always
It's
knew
the
I
room with the
loved
dome
telling stories
ceiling.
that they had a
Hey,
power to them,
look,
and it
there's
was
a
the way
place. It's not.
it's the
There's
way I
something
took my
seriously
power back
wrong here.
growing up. So, like I said, it will always be something I love. It will always be something I cherish, and
I'm sorry I didn't
I
catch that. I
wanted
lost you a little
to at
bit.
the time I wanted
Listen,
it to
head
be
for the
what
comm
my
center
career. I
down the
wanted it to be
stairs.
something that
I'll wait here.
I can work to do, and I had so many different dreams, so many different like iterations of how I was going to do it, you know. One of those ways was I was in college and I wanted to be a creative writing major, and then maybe a journalist and as a bachelor, but that didn't turn out that way, and that's fine. Um, I as a way to just get into anything creative, I just decided I wanted to put my poetry as like I wanted to um what do you call it, enter it into the magazine, the college magazine, and I actually got published. And that was like a Hail Mary moment that got my heart pumping. I didn't think I was ever going to get published, and my name was on it. That shit was so amazing. It was insane. And that was one of those things, those risks that I took, like that paid off instantly. It was like a mind rush, dude. And I was like, that was one of the most like exhilarating moments that I can remember. And then it got even crazier because I joined the writing club, and the writing club was cool, and joining the writing club also allowed me the opportunity to join the magazine as an editor, and like eventually becoming the head editor, and then passing that like that job to someone else, eventually as I like when I like graduated. And in that, I also pushed myself to do more public speaking because I was bad at it. And there's so many times where I pushed myself to do public speaking because it was something I wanted to like harness and like perfect, and like, I knew I wanted to talk to people. I knew I wanted to figure out how to talk to people, but so the only way to do it is to do it. So, in my senior year, I try to do public speaking, and as I became like a college student, I as a creative writing major, I found that you could do there's poetry jams being held in the theaters at my college. So I decided a good 3 or 4 times I was gonna recite my poetry in front of others. That shit was exhilarating as well. That shit was crazy. I was scared. I definitely my first time around I was like don't even know how I did it. I barely breathed while doing it. I had to remember to breathe, be like, and then after I was done I was like literally like catching my breath. Um that shit was wild. And then I also had, as a requirement for my major, I had to take a class called the creative writing theater, which is an amazing class. Never thought I would ever be writing scripts or plays or dialogue or of any kind like that, but we did, and I enjoyed it immensely. Um, in that class, we were forced to write plays, but also take other people's plays that other people wrote in the class and act them out. And so we all had to do it, and I had to do it too. So that was one of those things. And imagine like I'm doing all these things, not even being able to fathom that I could ever do these things before. Like I never thought I would be one of these people that were able to do this. But I had so much fun. I learned that I actually really liked doing this stuff, and I liked being like comical. I liked being like emotive and and like be expression and giving expressions, even though I was literally the opposite for so many years. And that brings me today. Where I'm kind of like a very outwardly confident person, even though I I'm not always confident. Not every day do I feel that way. But I've been told I don't want to say too much positive things about myself, in one sitting, but I've been told that, especially by circus, that I apparently have like I have a very um impactful energy, or an energy that people can sense, like a very strong energy or something like that. I always
Something
thought,
like that. Yeah.
yeah, something like that. You agree? What exactly did you say? I don't want to talk in your words.
I don't remember word for word what I said, but I can say with certainty, at least to me, you have a very large presence when it
Yeah,
comes to like your personality type. You the space you take up, even though I would say it looks kind of like it's small, but you have this outward energy that you seem to be very approachable. And dare I say, not to, I wouldn't say command respect, but it's kind of like because you have that way that you seem approachable, at least to me, that as a consequence of that, people will kind of give you that nod of authority, if that makes sense.
they'll give
Some
me
people just have that,
yeah
where
they'll give me that space.
yeah, it's kind of like some people are just the type of people that you get walked up to at the grocery store and people ask you questions like you work there.
Yeah,
That happens to me. Like
that's
and like
also happened to me for sure. Yeah, you also, like I said, you also have that presence too. Even though this kid is not, you're not a kid. This guy is like five
why
five
thank you.
feet 5'5" or something like that. He's shorter. He's shorter than me, but I will give it to him. He has a tall personality. This guy has a strong personality.
Bullshit.
No, I'm not bullshitting you. I'm being serious.
I'm not saying you're bullshitting me. I'm just like enjoying the compliment. That's all.
Oh, okay, okay. I thought you said no bullshit. I was like, what do you mean?
And I said no shit.
Oh, no shit. Okay. But yeah, no. Yeah, for sure. Like this guy, like when I first met him online, I didn't I just pictured you being taller. I was surprised that you weren't as tall as I thought you were. Which that doesn't mean anything. It just means that you're even though you are the height you're at, you still have that presence, and it's like people you have that kind of like I said, people will come to you as an authority figure for something. Like they trust that you are someone who knows or is capable of, like you have that personality, that you have a thoughtful personality, that whatever you say is something that you have thought of deeply, and that they can trust your word on things. Not for your word, not like blindly, but like with sincerity. They can trust your word. That's a very powerful thing too, you know?